Welcome to the Immerse Podcast. We are your hosts, Alex O'Keefe and Dan Ramsden.
We aim to immerse you in education via our guests, bring communities together, embrace positive change and help create solid habits that yield the path for our health and longevity.
Right, here we go. We're in the room.
That's that pranayama breathing there, the free divers do before you just...
Is that what it is?
Before you go deep, that's what you did then. Take a deep breath.
Yeah. We're about
8 minutes deep.
What is 8 minutes deep? That's the question, isn't it? About to find out.
That's it.
Right, boys, we're here. Welcome to the podcast, everybody. After a short break.
A short break. It's been a worthy break, hasn't it?
It's been a worthy break. I've added a new member to the family, little Koa. So still feels like I'm in a bit of a bubble at the minute, but very much worth coming out of that bubble for our guest today, which is Stevie Ward. Welcome, brother.
Thank you for having me, boys. I'm grateful to be here. Yeah. Actually really excited to have a chat with you, boys.
Yeah. We've got our mutual friend, Cruz Leaming to thank.
He's alright, isn't he?
He's alright.
He's alright, Cruz, yeah.
We talk about him on every episode, so we won't go too deep on this one.
Are you advertising Cruz, or is Cruz sponsoring you? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
No, but he kind of recommended that we get in touch with you, mate, 'cause like we're talking before, it's not very surface level conversations. It's straight into the Shark Tank.
Cruz sees the deep and he connected us.
Yeah. Swims in the deep as Cruz, doesn't he?
He said, I know one for you guys.
Shark Tank's funny. That was like an exercise, or like a wrestling sort of exercise in rugby. Shark Tank is like one guy in the middle and he has to flip in, pretty much go up against 6, 7, 8 people around him in a row. Whoa. So they call a Shark Tank, and you have to get each other on your back.
Oh my god!
So is that what we're doing now? Is that?
Yeah, we can do it.
Just watch the mics, lads. But yeah, no. Cruz and I have had a really good friendship. You know, I often think this a lot. Like, there's a bit of a myth around connection that it needs time. You know, like a lot of people think it needs time for connection, but it's just an idea that, like, connection can happen like that. It can happen with something you say. It can happen with a connection that you've created over a few sentences. And I feel like that with Cruz. You know, I played with him a little bit, played against him a bit, but we've had amazing conversations, and I feel like I know Cruz more over a year than I do, you know, some people that I've known for 20 years, you know.
That's so true. I must say that when we even just jumped on video call, it was just an instant sort of connection with you. When we first chatted, we were like, I know that guy.
We were in this room, we were just about to record a podcast ourselves, and then we were just we were ready to go, and then we jumped on the call with you. Instant, just like bang, vibe straight away. So yeah, I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, me too, boys.
Me too. Well, I wanted to start, obviously, people that don't know you, Stevie, your background is Leeds Rhinos, former captain Leeds Rhinos, and obviously you had to retire at an early age with some unfortunate injuries. But I wanted to start somewhere different, mate, because I seen a recent post that you put on, and just to give a shout out to the Lionesses. Absolutely amazing achievement from them guys, winning the Euros again. But you put a post on, kind of pointing out the sort of negativity from some males towards the women's game, and I'll just let you talk about that, mate, if that's all right, and just kind of go what you're going through there. Yeah,
I've had a glimpse into the negativity a little bit. People have pointed my attention to it, and it's quite alarming, really, to see that and to know it, and I feel like some of the qualities that the Lionesses have displayed are like qualities that both men and women would and could feel inspired to have themselves. the tenacity, like the resilience, the absolute like freedom and intensity that I saw the Lionesses play in the final in specific. Leah Williamson going up for a header, getting straight back up after she's nearly knocked her teeth out is something that people in football, men footballers, have not done for years and years and years. The Lionesses not diving. I'm like, whoa, what am I watching here? Like, what am I seeing? And it's like those are like the outcomes of what we see, you know. Those are like the KPIs, those are like the measurements. You can see it, but it doesn't explain how they are, who they're being to get there, you know. And so like a lot of the work that I do with teams and that I do one-to-one with athletes and coaches is like going into those conversations, the deep conversations, to understand like how do you get to that place, like. And a lot of the men that are on the outside and being negative and saying that they don't like watching women's football, they don't even like women commentating on the football, like there's nothing to do with what's going on outside, it's everything to do with what's going on inside them. You know. Like they think that there's like a right and wrong in the world that they're commenting on. Actually, it's like something is happening internally for them.
It's probably change, isn't it?
It's
change is threatening.
Yeah, it's a threat, and it's a threat to their world, and I say their world because the world is their internal belief system. Yeah, their thinking. You know, they think, and all of us do in life, think that they're living in the feeling of reality, but they're living in the thinking, or they're living in the feeling of their thinking about reality. You know, like, and that's like how, like, it's so simple and obvious, but you're always going to be in a fight if you think it's something that is outside of your control, you know?
Yeah.
If you think it's the Lionesses that are hurting your feelings, nothing to do with the Lionesses, you know?
Yeah.
But it's because there's such like a tightness and a constraint on them around what's happening that is, that's causing them to be negative.
What do you think the solution is to those people?
I think it's awareness, you know. So it's totally awareness, like, and they have to be open to being aware, you know. It wouldn't work in a way of expectation, you know. It won't be like, you need to see this, you need to do this and that, because how many people react well to being expected to do something, you know?
Yeah.
But like...
Or told.
Yeah, or told, yeah. How long does it last when you're told to play better? How long does it last when you're told that you have to behave like this? You know, think about when you're at school and a teacher that you don't really respect comes and tells you to do something and expects you to do something. You sort of, there's a bit of in you that's like, I don't really feel right about that. You want to rebel against it. Yeah. So it's a way, it's conversation, it's more collaboration, it's more agreement to speak about what's going on, you know, what's going on for them. And it's like, as soon as you're aware of it, you almost don't need to solve it. Do you know what I mean? It's like it dissolves. You don't need to solve it. As soon as you're aware of the way you are in the world,
it becomes conflict then, doesn't it?
Yeah, it becomes conflict if you're trying to fight against it.
Yeah.
Or solve it, or even resist it, or not be it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. As soon as something comes up and you're trying to defeat it, fight it, break through it, you know, you're giving more attention to it. It's like watering a plant, you know. Whatever you do to it, you are giving it more energy. So you just be with it.
Yeah, I feel like we're close to it dissolving for a lot of people, and I think it's a generational thing, because like we've grown up with, like, certainly when I were playing football when I were younger, there were girls playing in my team. And maybe my parents' generation, you wouldn't have seen anything like that. So it's kind of half normal to me. And now I've accepted it. I think it's amazing. I just struggle to understand why someone will think it's a negative thing that women are, try to empower themselves and inspire people. But like I said, we when we spoke to Lucy Bronze on podcast, she was telling us about the journey of women's football, wasn't she? Even when she started, they got to FA Cup final, and they all had to go to a local supermarket to raise some money for minibus to get them to the final. Wow. And now fast forward 10, 15 years, they're getting private planes, to the game. Wow. So it's just like the trajectory of it's massive, isn't it? But it's lovely. It's mint to see. Absolutely all for it. Yeah.
I was like in tears, me seeing it final. Yeah. And I was 4 years ago. Yeah. I was watching it in America, in New York, like watching the final, and I'd not had much connection with it. But I felt that connection. I think because what I'm seeing is not necessarily just a team putting a ball in the net more times than the other team. I'm seeing like cultural freedom. And like this like type of resilience that is like way beyond just getting through something. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Than just winning after you've been injured, or just proving something beyond someone proving that they exist, beyond someone proving someone wrong. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, they're taking up space. They're like, they're changing the planet. They're changing the world of people, and these people that are negative are realising their world. Some people on LBC calling up and saying, "I just don't. Why are we having it shoved down our throats?" And it's like, whoa. It's funny how you're saying that you feel like women playing football is having something shoved down your throat. Like, how have you got to the place in life where you are perceiving that to be happening? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, where's the backstory for that? Yeah. So that's him realising it and being aware of it, and until he stops resisting that or stops exemplifying it further, like accentuating it and adding fire to the fuel, and in a way, like, these reactions and these like beliefs that are coming out to the fore is quite a good thing, because people are becoming more and more aware of it, and like you say, like a generational thing is like more awareness of what actually world people are living in, Yeah,
definitely.
I think the question comes back on them as well, like, what have you achieved? What have you overcome about yourself? Your fears, stepping into the unknown. When was the last time you did that? The questions always come back to them, isn't it, really?
Yeah,
you're projecting that kind of nonsense.
Projection, yeah, like, like, when did you last, like, go into the arena?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
The old Theodore Roosevelt quote.
Yeah. When did you go into the arena? Like, and it's not a pressure thing. Like, you can do what you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's fine. You don't have to go into the arena, but like, it's just a consideration. Like, when did you go? When did you go up for an header in front of 30,000 people? When did you take a penalty when all of the world is watching? Like, when did you do it? Like, and what happened?
Gets me the worst. Sorry to cut you off.
Go on.
But combat critics. People that criticise elite boxers and MMA fighters, and they criticise the performance, and it's like, oh my god, you have no idea.
No idea, man.
No idea. Like, no even idea. Just a gentle spar would be potentially dangerous. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, that really frustrates me. And it's just one of those. The question comes back to when did you do that?
Yeah.
When have you had the courage to step into that?
And
arena, like you say.
Yeah. And I think there's a dynamic that I see when I speak with athletes, and I'm coaching conversations with them, And there's a dynamic between that sort of like thought created reality, you know, like living in the feeling of our thinking as opposed to living in the reality. Like the world is whatever you see the world to be, you know, like that's what it is. You know, like the difference between a Vietnamese or African child who's 7-8 years old in total bliss and happiness when they've got nothing, compared to a billionaire who's feels trapped and feels unhappy even though they've got everything. Like, so like my intrigue has been in not in the assets or what people have materially. It's like my intrigue has been in like that mind state that a young child that is in poverty has compared to what the billionaire has. Because for me, that's power. Like if you can be, if you can feel free despite whatever you've got or what you haven't got, I'm like, well, whoa, what's that? Like, why do we work so hard to get the thing that is not going to guarantee us happiness anyway? If it's a jet or a grand final ring or whatever, why do we not like really get curious about that place, that state of mind, that way of being that is the thing?
You know, you had to go through a dark place to come to these questions.
I've been through many dark places to consider that, and I think to go there you have to bungee jump into the darkness. You have to let go of the framework that you're hanging on to be normal, to be right, to be the answer. You know, like we spoke about what's normal for people. Like, just because things are normal, it doesn't mean that they're the most efficient or the most right or the best way of doing things. You know, like for some people, normality is being in an abusive relationship, whether that's with a partner or whether that's with work. But normal becomes safety, you know, like our perception of what's safe. So we feel as long as things are normal, then it's all right. We have a perception of safety. Whereas like to let go of that is quite a brave act. And I think that the Lionesses thing is a group of people that are moving away from what has always been considered to be normal for them as players, as athletes, as females, and the world or human beings are seeing that through whatever lens they've got on it, and people are realising how they're seeing it, you know?
Because for them, there is no sort of normal to where they're heading, because it's all new.
Yeah.
So they've got to have that like fierce mentality, haven't they? Because it's the path that's, you know, not been taken before. Yeah.
But like if you think about it, like to be curious about that mind state, you know, that there is for a 8-year-old African child who's happy despite what they have or what they haven't got. And you put that in the same bracket as you guys have played sport. So I've always been curious about this, being in a team that was like the golden generation. You know, during my time, we won as a squad. We won 8 trophies at the Rhinos. Part of the treble in 2015. Yeah, and you know we'd done things where we'd won grand final twice from 5th place through the playoffs, like 2011, 2012, and like those were always like deemed to be impossible. You know, like the 5th place, there's no chance you're going to do it. Like there's 3 games or whatever. It's not really impossible, you know, but like the thinking about it was that you wouldn't be able to do it and that we were written off and all the rest of it. And so like, if you think about for you guys, if being in a second half maybe, and maybe you're playing a team that you're not really expected to beat, and maybe you're down on the scoreboard. Like, have you been in those games where everything just seems to click? You know, like all of a sudden things just click and performance becomes available for you when before it was nowhere to be seen.
something like internally shifts the belief.
Yeah.
It's
more
momentum.
of a freeing feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
You relax, don't you?
Yeah. And there's a phrase which I've always been curious about. It's like, there's nothing to lose. What do you guys think about that? Like, what does that make you remember? Does it make you think? Like, what is that space that you are in when you've nothing to lose?
Dangerous
for yourself,
for you, for the outcome. It's more, I'm gonna get this.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean by
freeing.
Dangerous.
Freeing. So it's dangerous to...
Like, I feel dangerous now.
Yeah.
I've got the power now.
Yeah. But
because I'm just prepared to roll the dice and not give a shit anymore.
Yeah. It's funny though, isn't it? Because like, why do we have to wait till we've got nothing to lose before we're dangerous?
Before you've got permission.
Yeah. Permission. Yeah. Where does permission come from?
Yeah.
We've gone into the game. We've all wanted to win.
It, I guess, particularly if we're going to go back to rugby, let's say, it's very structured, isn't it? You've got people that are playing in positions. Like, for example, when I played as a kid at half, I was free, completely free. When I went up levels, I had to play just in one channel, and I couldn't move out of my channel. Defensively and offensively, and I'm like, what's this? I don't want to wait 5 plays before you give me the ball. Give me it now. I see someone giving me it now.
Yeah.
But
that's life though, isn't it? Don't you think?
Yeah.
Like the channels and the frameworks and the systems and the defence and the attack, and that's an imprint on life. And it's almost like we're always free, but the thoughts that we have dismantle that freedom. Do you know what I mean? I could stand up now and throw my mic at the TV and walk out. Couldn't I? I could do that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I could do that, but I think it's probably not worth it. I think what are the lads going to think about me? Well, I wonder what Cruz would say. There's some things that like come into it, but I'm only thinking that I'm not free. Just like the billionaire thinks, the billionaire could cut away all his deals. He could just say, I'm not doing this. He could do what he wanted, but he thinks that he's not free, And to go to the second half where you feel dangerous, why is it we have to wait to allow ourselves to feel dangerous? And what have we actually lost to get there? Because it's an idea, like it's just an idea that we're winning or losing. That we're always creating and forming in our mind.
I've just had something really deep that's come to mind. I'm just gonna go there. And it's a bit off. It's very similar to what you were talking about, as in the freedom in your mind. But I read it were a book by a lady called Edith Egar. She were in the concentration camps, and her quote was, "The biggest prison is the one in your own mind."
Yeah, wow.
But she said that she found freedom even in the camp.
Yeah, man.
Because she realised that nothing could touch your own thoughts.
Wild, isn't it? It's wild.
Oh God, I've just got goosebumps.
You gave yourself. How good is it? There must be some truth in that, though. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't get goosebumps when I'm lying.
No.
Or I'm not in integrity. Do you know what I mean? I don't get goosebumps. I feel contracted. I feel viscerally unpleasant,
Yeah.
But when I see truth, when I see the Lionesses like winning a Euros final, I'm getting now for the second time in a row, and people that don't want that to happen, I get goosebumps because I'm like, there's some truth there.
Yeah.
And I might not be able to find it in words and access it and demonstrate it, but I know that is truth.
Yeah.
And so what I think and what I know and what I've experienced from playing as a young lad, playing in what was considered to be one of the best teams in rugby league that has ever been, like, and being in this team sometimes and being like, where are you? What are you doing? Like, what you do? Do you not want to win? Like, what's going on? And feeling like this energy of fear. Like, going through those experiences, what I realise is that, like, that nothing to lose is truth. It's always true. But we just add to it and think that it's not true. And we live to that. It's perfect because we live to an idea in life. We have physical bounds, constraints, but we also are able to live to an idea of what's going on for us and what's going on the planet. You know?
What do you think we need to do to come closer to that headspace of that freedom that you're talking about, of that being prepared to roll the dice and just go with it? What sort of work do we have to do?
Well, what do we do? What is it we've done when we're in the second half and we have nothing to lose, and all of a sudden, what is present in the, or what is not present in the second half of a game when all of a sudden there's nothing to lose?
Fear.
Belief.
Belief. There may be fear. I don't know. There may be fear. Some sort of adrenaline, some sort of like fuel for it. I don't know. Maybe even that speculation. I think that the thing that is, and I'd say belief is not present. I would say.
Yeah, not present.
Yeah, I would say belief is not present. What I'd say belief is connected to identity. Because what I'd say is not present is identity. I'd say it's just all fucked off.
Yeah.
Do you know, it's just gone.
Yeah.
There's no winning or losing. There's no, if I do this then this means that. There's no self-image. I think that's what you've lost.
Yeah.
Properly.
In the flow.
Yeah. Flow is when there is no, you are the observer. Do you know what I mean? You are the truth behind self-image. You are the truth behind the winning and losing, the results, the need to be right, the need to know. You know, that's the place of performance. And even performance is like tied to image. So I think that like the highest level of performance, like the most true level of performance is when you're not performing. You know? When I'm not going out with a script that needs to happen, when I'm not going out with what I think needs to happen, that's where it all happens. And you're just a passenger. And you think about the billionaire, you think about the child in Africa and they've got nothing. Like, for them, the thing that is present or absent also is identity. The billionaire, when he's got a problem, is because he's there. You know, like there's when there's no, if there's no you, there's no problem, as Peter Crone would say. There's no you, there's no problem. It's just life. It's just circumstancing.
That's a deep one.
Yeah, it is, and it's so true. And I'm not saying that people need to get rid of themselves or their beliefs or their likes and dislikes. Like, don't get rid of them. Just become aware of all the contradictions that you live in that are coming up for you in the world.
What I'm getting from that is basically you're saying that a lot of it's self-inflicted and you can kind of reframe a lot of things that potentially harm progress or performance. Is that what?
I think that we are so, at times in life, we're so obsessed with the content of life. So the carpet that I'm stood on, the money that I've got, the emotions that I feel, happy or sad or you know, but it's more about like the context of life. So how am I with the content of my life? Whether I am being negative about the Lionesses, whether I am feeling sad, like what is the context that you are? Who are you being with that? You know, and that changes all the time. You know, that changes when you might have had an argument with your wife or your daughter or your son or whatever, and then someone rings you and it's your best mate and you find out he needs some support, and you've all of a sudden you've just been a different person. You've gone to be a different person straight away on the phone, and that charge of emotion that's just been from that argument might still be there, but you are a different being with that. The circumstance of life, and how it relates to team performance and athlete performances. And this is, you know, why I believe authenticity is not becoming something you think you're supposed to be. You know, which is what a lot of athletes do. I think I need to be like this. I think I need to play like that, or I think I need to be in structure here and make sure that I don't go onto the left side of the field because I'm a right side halfback or whatever. Like, that's all becomes what you think you're supposed to be. That's your personal reality that's creating your personality. You know, it's actually allowing yourself to let go of that. It's unfolding into the possibility that you always are and the possibility you always have been.
Yeah, because thinking you want to be someone is still not being who you are. Yeah,
exactly. It's funny, like the mechanics of it is, you know, you aren't authentic as soon as you think you're or trying to be authentic. Do you know what I mean? Because you're performing, aren't you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like you're still playing the same game.
In terms of, I just want to go back to that when you talked about the mindset of an 8-year-old child in Africa. Yeah, I'm just thinking how if an elite if an athlete approaches you and you have some sort of tools in your armour to get them to that place, how would you go about kind of coaching someone to let go and be in that mindset?
Well, the sort of transformative conversations, because they might come to a call and the idea of the call or the conversation is whatever their idea of the conversation is going to be, you know, like I'm this level of athlete, or I've lost form, so I need to work to get to somewhere to be better and to get stronger or whatever. You know, and it's sort of like they've got a certain game plan in their mind for what's going to work, and maybe a bit of discomfort about why they're speaking to me or what's going to work or what's not going to work, and do I need this and all the rest of it. And there's all these things going on, you know, like they might want support, but then like, oh, I don't think this is going to help though. And you know, it's like defense mechanisms, really.
Yeah.
Again, that sort of like strain to stay constrained and normal and safe. And it's like realizing that this game plan that you've been living is and has worked, you know? Like I remember as a young lad, and I'd won a treble and played in finals, won a grand final at that time, and I was like 22, and I was like, I'm successful now, but I don't feel fulfilled, you know?
Ooh.
Yeah, it was like,
why
don't I feel fulfilled? Like what I thought success was fulfillment. And I was driven by not enoughness to eventually be enough, right? But I didn't want to lose. I didn't want to feel enough in case I was no longer driven by not enoughness to win.
Yeah.
That eventually would get me to be enough. Does that make sense? I was like, I can't feel like I'm enough because
then you'll be done.
What will I do? Like, will I want to play rugby?
Is that the point where somebody's done, do you think? You know, because
No.
I've heard in a different realm. So
I don't think it's the point you're done. I think it's the point you're free if you allow yourself to realise it.
Deontay Wilder took ayahuasca and he's never been the same fighter.
Yeah. And he's also been knocked out a lot, you know? He's also been knocked out. He's also had a tough career boxing. He's got beat by Fury twice. So, yeah, there's a lot of people that would say that.
You know, it's almost like the dog loses his fight, you know?
Yeah.
And when you become a bit more peaceful, it's like, well, what am I doing this for?
Yeah. But would you say that you're in the second half when you feel dangerous, when you've got nothing to lose, are you at peace?
Yeah.
You're at peace because there's no you. There's no you to fight. You're just there and you are everything. You are the moment. You are beyond words. You are the thing that people want to bottle up and sell. You know, people say, oh, I wish I could bottle that up. The feeling I had. I want to bottle that up and sell it. That's what you are. And then people go to the game plan of not enoughness again because like, well, that got me there. You know?
We tried to tap into that when we were speaking to Will about how he feels when he scores a worldie.
Yeah.
Because he's got this thing about scoring worldies.
Yeah.
And it's like, how does that feel? It's like, I can't describe it. You couldn't put it into words.
That's beautiful. Because when things are beautiful, we don't words aren't even a thing, are they?
No.
Because we're not living to the thinking anymore. We're like, fucking, the thinking's just gone, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know, I am in it. I'm just like, there's nothing to even try to comprehend here anymore. So the piece about working with athletes is like, this game plan, like, where's it got you? How like a lot of people white knuckle through life, and a lot of their success is coping, you know, like it's an amazing coping mechanism. Like, it's amazing. Like, look, like, I think about my career, I'm like, that was imperfectly perfect. I'm like, how did I do that? With like what I had to go through, injuries, poor relationships.
With what?
With like what I imagine to have been stress and a childhood where I had a mum that was depressed a lot of the time, you know. So I'm like, well, man, you've done well there. You know, I think about like the stuff that I went through, that I put myself through, and I just think that it's a very, very powerful, or if I make a distinction between force and power, it's a very forceful way to live. Very, very forceful way to get things done, to win, to achieve, to be seen as successful, or to be approved of, validated.
Yeah.
But you're still living in a way that you need to be validated and approved of, you know? So it's like, well, you're not free, are you? You're sort of like, well, still, does this work for you? And does that, you know, like, have I done well enough here? And
in hindsight, are you happier now than you was then? As a player, as a captain, as this successful person that, say for example, the 14, 15-year-old kid that's aspiring to walk in those shoes are seen as that godly figure, and that person that is successful and that's got it figured out. now that you've come away from that, being that person and living in that role, are you happier now where you are right now?
I'd not doing say I'm definitely freer now. I'd say that. I feel definitely freer. And the levels of connection, depth of connection that I have, the way that I am with life, whether I am happy or sad, is a lot more truthful. You know, like a lot more like, oh, this is what I yearn for a lot when.
So you're not wearing a mask, let's say, putting things on. I think
do my best to not have a mask on.
You have to pretend, though, in a lot of ways when you play rugby, you have to pretend not to be hurt by that shot when somebody's flown that line and nailed you.
Yeah.
Oh, that didn't hurt. Yeah. It fucking did.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm all right. Winded. 2 minutes winded going oh man, sternum's caved in and that, and you're like, oh, let's carry on, you know. Yeah, and I think there's a lot of pretending and there's a lot of performing as well, you know, because you're doing what you think makes you safe, but like all the dangerous people, like that are in sports people, you look at them and you think, fucking hell, they don't give a fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, why have they broken out of that sort of like framework? You know, like how are they getting away with that? They don't care for what a lot of people think they're supposed to be. You know, and that's not like, they're not lost, because when it comes to performing or playing, it's funny how we say high performance, and you know it stops being about play anymore. You know, why has it stopped becoming about play?
Yeah,
but it's interesting to me how these people that realise the scaffolding of how they've been living their life is actually constraining and takes their energy away, and the people that realise like it's hard to understand how I am so good at this game. There is no formula really, there's no method to this, like I just am. Like, and you realise the stuff where there's so many wins, mate, when I speak to the athletes, like there's so many wins, like they're realising like, fucking hell, why am I playing for this coach? Like why am I adapting all my behaviour to please him? I'm like, well, where did you learn that? Well, from my dad, I think, or you know, from growing up, from my mum or whatever. And
school.
Yeah, from school. Like, why am I doing? And I feel like this when I'm doing it. And he's telling me to do this and stay in this structure, and I don't really feel right. It feels a bit like I'm trapped in. And then you realise that that's behaviour from not enoughness. But you can create the context of being whole and complete like that. Like you can realise you're whole and complete and create the context that is whole and complete and play from there, which is like the second half, nothing to lose. And when you realise that you're caught again by shame and fear and doubt and response to fear, control, conformity, coercion, comparison, you just step back in, you just create the context again of nothing to lose, of I am already here, I'm already home, I'm already complete, I'm already enough. This is play. And you move from there then. And then your conversations with people are like on fire. You know, like the connections that you make with people are on fire because you don't think there's a win on the other side of it that you need to feel enough.
You're already there.
You're already there. And then you're like, I'm I'm gonna get the ball now. Give me the fucking. Do you know what I mean? Give me the fucking ball now.
Yeah.
I don't need to wait for this fucking. Just quick play the ball, or for you to get to the. Give me the fucking ball, because I feel I am it.
Yeah, that's massive.
It's like, why would you wait and fuck around for so long?
If you were talking to me like that, I'd give you a ball.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
Because you sure?
Exactly. Give me the fucking ball. That's what I used to do as a kid. And the more and more you get older, the more and more fucking defensive lines are in front of the fucking only defensive line that is there, which is a bunch of bodies that are gonna try and fucking bash you. But whenever I played well, I was like, I don't give a fuck just give me the fucking ball. I know you're all scared. Yeah, I feel just give me the fucking ball.
Yeah.
And like, but you get older and it's like, you probably let him have the ball first, and I don't know, I felt a bit tight earlier, or he said that I didn't play that well last week, and fucking hell, you're already like, you're
at deficit.
And that's those are the two game plans. Like, you either come from not enoughness and you just fixated on all of these things that were going to make you feel enough, or you realise you're already there, and winning and losing is not like fucking who cares? Like, who actually cares? Like, it's just an idea. Like, if you've already got the ticket to the game, be in the fucking game.
I think if you go out on your shield, no matter what the result is, everyone respects that anyway.
100%, man. And that's all, like, coaches.
That's all you can ask for, isn't
it? Coaches just, do you know what, mate? Every coach that I speak to, like, that has a struggling team, they always just say, like, I just want them to care. I just need them to care. And even themselves, they're like, even if you lose, I'm all right with that. Like, but what's this thing that I've got a vague memory of that I forgot, because all of this shite that I've learned in the game growing up as an athlete that I think has got me to this place, that I think has made me good, that I think is like what winning teams do, what standards are. All that stuff's got in the way, and you're realising I just want us to be together. I just want us to care for what we're doing. And then the question I say, well, how do you get them to care? And I say, I don't know. I'm like, well, that's where my work comes in, because I know why. I know why it's not functioning here.
That's all about communication at that point, isn't it? And getting under the hood.
Truthful conversation.
Yeah.
Vulnerability. Authenticity. Commitment. Integrity. Like, that's all it ever has been. It's all it ever will be.
All that, what you're saying there, because I'm thinking about a younger version of myself playing football.
Give me goosebumps as well.
Yeah,
some goosebumps going off in here today.
I'm thinking a younger version of myself, right? And all the stuff that you've said there is all mental.
Wild, isn't it?
So I always think about this sort of alternative reality where I've got the mindset that I have now playing football back then, and there's no doubt I'd make it as a professional footballer. But
there's no doubt that with your mindset now, you wouldn't make it as a professional footballer.
Yeah.
How do you mean?
Would have.
Okay. When you're thinking about your mindset back then.
Yeah. So
yeah,
like,
got you.
I'm taking myself back in my mind to what would run through my mind while I was playing.
Yeah.
And all that was going through my head was, I'm not good enough. I'm not going to beat this man here. I'm going to shank this cross when I go in. I'm going to miss all this. And if you can just somehow reframe all that while you're playing, and like I say, just surrender to the moment that you're in. And be confident and believe in yourself. If there's any sort of young athletes listening to this, which there may well be, what sort of advice would you give to allow that sort of freeing mindset in performance?
No, we spoke about belief, didn't we? You know, like belief's all right. Belief, you know, that you're okay and that you're good enough is all right, but it's still a belief. Belief is something that you hold to be true. You know, like, oh, I believe that I'm good enough. I believe that. But like, when you know, I see it away from knowing. Like, I don't need to believe. I need to remember. You know, like what I'd ask, like, what is it you're trying to prove? I speak with athletes all the time. They're trying to prove they exist. Do you know what I mean? Through their performance, trying to prove they exist to someone, to something. Like, fucking hell, what are you proving you exist for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're here. And
so it's to please someone else.
Yeah, like
a parent, or
yeah, it's to please a parent, it's to please a coach, it's, you know, and it's like, how would it feel if you didn't have to prove that? Like, what becomes available when you're not, you know, and if life, your world becomes a world from the need to please or the need to prove something, it's heavy, isn't it?
Tiring.
It's tiring.
Yeah.
And like, when you realise you are proving, and that's fine. It's a fine way to live. It's force. It's forceful. It's getting things done and it's pushing things through, but it's not power. Power's the ability to be with anything. You know, like, power's the ability to be with the feeling of shame of my thinking that I'm not enough or that I'm not good enough. It's the ability to let be, you know?
Let be.
And usually what you will let be will let you be, you know? But this is like a thing that was like, why do we not know all this? Why do we not understand this growing up? Why do we not experience this growing up?
We don't focus on it.
We don't.
I don't think it's, particularly now, you know, like, if you've got families sitting around a table and not using devices, that's unheard of, really. I don't, you know, we're so enthralled in another world, you know, and everyone's enthralled in what they've got in their hand. I don't think these connections and these conversations are happening as much. And I think there'd probably be fear of having those conversations and how to broach it in you know, to even get out of the blocks. You know, I've got this feeling now, I'm self-aware, but how am I gonna bring that to my dad, for example, who I know's fixed in his mentality? You know, that's going to create more problems, isn't it? I think it's a tangler, is that one? It's a tough dance, is that?
Yeah, but what would happen if you could be with that totally?
Yeah, it's surrendering, isn't it? And it is freeing ultimately.
Yeah, not even surrendering though, but just like being with whatever comes up. You know, like being with that feeling that is around your dad, the thoughts about your dad, being with like the expectations. You know, like what would become available then? You know, like it's a bit like needing to win so bad that you don't see the gap in front of you. You know, like it's like I need to win so bad in this way that you're looking at the move that you've organised to play, and you're so fixated on this being the winning play that you miss like the gaping hole in front of you to go through and score, because you're so used to like winning in the way that you are used to trying to win. And a lot of rugby players, a lot of footballers, we're always trying to win by, this is something to break through, you know. I used to talk about, well, I still talk about the defensive line, but the way that imprints itself on life is that I always needed to break through something to feel good. I always needed to work something out. But like, What if it's just like a flipping, there is no line, you know? And like, if that is the way that you are with, I'm not saying that there's anything going to happen on the other side of the relationship with your dad or the relationship with any relationship we have, but like, what becomes available then when you are with that, you know?
Yeah.
But when you are with that need to change something, would love come up?
Yeah.
You know? And like, what if that's what your dad wants to do?
Yeah.
And I'm saying this because I have similar experiences, you know, like with my family.
Yeah.
Like what would happen if you realise that that's what they want to do? Because they're doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share something here. This is heavy. This as well.
Let's go.
I sat down with my dad on a random Monday morning because I just felt the need to do it. I was in my 30s and I offloaded about 25 years of shit onto him. And in a sober frame of mind, I did it on a Monday morning because I knew that the timing of it would have been more ideal to absorb it all. Because, you know, like any heavy or deep conversations might have been around drinking and things that might, you know, like distort the reality and then things what were said and how it got construed, etc. So I offloaded all this stuff. And it was one of them shit or bust kind of moments, you know, like we're either going to come out of this okay or we're not, but I can't continue to live like this because it doesn't feel right. And ever since that moment, it's just been calm. And one of the things that I were longing for throughout my childhood was validation from him that I never seemed to get. And when I wasn't looking for it or expecting it, he told me that he was proud of me, and it's like, there it is. and it doesn't impact me as much now, hearing it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's almost like, thank you, I appreciate that, but I'm good anyway, kind of thing. It wasn't that moment that I'd been looking for. But that were from years of wanting this external validation. So yeah, thank you for bringing that out of me.
Yeah,
thanks for sharing.
Pleasure, mate. That's already there for you, you know, and the actual dynamic that links to from the whole conversation for what we're speaking. Like, there's some letting go of constraint and belief there, even, you know, like of what it should be and what it needs to be, and fucking terrifying, isn't it? The shit all busting, like the nothing to, like, fucking hell. We want to know what's going to happen. We want to be certain. It's like the need for certainty, like, is so strong with human beings. It's like we can't even fucking see it because we are it. You know, like we're being used by this need for certainty. And like, I imagine what becomes available when you are aware of it and you can be with that is there's a lot more love in that, and even maybe the love is accentuated and larger because of what the relationship's been like, you know, like,
I think ultimately it's the love for yourself as well, and you appreciating yourself. You are enough, and believing that and feeling it, knowing it, you know, instead of thinking that you need that coach, that teacher, that parent to tell you it.
Yeah.
You don't need to be told it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? Because I think we get to being adults and it happens really quick, you know. But we're only, you know, I'm 31. We've not been on the planet that long, and most of it's been being a kid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always think this, like, it's just wild how, like, all of a sudden, like, you're meant to have cut off from that and everything's fine. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I find it fascinating. and yeah, you know, to go really deep is like the identity that we create in the world is sort of the separation. You know, when we're young, we've not really got an ego, we've not really got a mind, so we just are in the world. We're feeling emotion freely. You know, we're going from crying in one instant as an infant to laughing the next moment, or to smiling, and it's all just flowing through us, and our ego hasn't been built up to say that this is wrong to feel that, or that's right
to attach to it.
To attach to it, yeah. There's no attachment, and then we grow up, and we naturally are a diamond, really. We're naturally a human being, but we grow up and we sort of become a compilation of thoughts and experiences and shoulds and have tos, and that builds a lot of framework, a lot of system, and a lot of conflict, and our idea of what life is, who we are. You know, like I'm like, my identity is informed by my memory. Like it's just like, and memory, how inaccurate is memory? Like, you know, I speak to some people, I'm like, they're telling a story about school. I'm like, are you lying there, or is that your memory of it? Like, because you're living as a result of your memory now for who you are. You know.
And I don't know if you can relate to this, but like it seems to happen with quite a lot of people where you kind of living slightly unconsciously for a lot of years, and have all these like stacks of limiting stuff put up on how you kind of exist. And then there's a bit of a turning point for a lot of people where they start to slowly look back at it all and start to actually lift that barrier or lift that constraint and take that belief off of there, and you start living a lot more consciously. And I feel like that's where I'm been kind of at for the last few years, revisiting sort of former beliefs that I had and opinions that I kind of took on as my own, and you know, all that time. You start to unpack a load of madness. Yeah, and that's quite a good journey, isn't it?
How's it been for you with that?
It's tough. We spoke about alcohol were one for me.
I saw that on your podcast.
That were one of them. That took a lot of unpacking. Still unpacking it now, to be honest. But when something becomes part of your existence, almost part of who you think you are, and realising that it's not, it's quite a process to go through, innit?
Yeah.
Just even like going through the school system and stuff, and kind of believing that you're one way and you're not intelligent, you're not smart because of a system that you've gone through, all this type of stuff, and then getting the power to actually believe that that's not the truth. It's quite a nice feeling. Yeah, empowering.
Yeah. There's loads of things that like I created my world around growing up at school, and then like being in the Rhino system when I was young. And one of the things that I guess would be reinforced by my parents and sometimes at school was like not to be seen as big-headed or arrogant. You know, that was one thing that I lived with growing up, and then it sort of merged in with like the Rhinos and like all the system that they had, and so
did that make you change your behaviour?
Yeah, it's like even if you're not wanting to be something, you still end up being used by that not wanting to be something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I grow up in life, and I don't want to be arrogant or seen as arrogant, then that is dictating a lot of my behaviours. If I'm sidestepping being perceived as being arrogant, then I am avoiding something that is dictating my behaviours. It's taking me a direction that, no matter if it's helpful or unhelpful, the identity that I've created has taken me in a direction because of a decision or a belief, which, well, is it wrong or is it right? I don't know if it's, but but these realizations are like, especially for players and for coaches, it's like, fuck, like, wow, I've been living most of my life to avoid something. And most of it is fear, you know, like...
Yeah, love and fear thing.
Yeah. Yeah,
it
like...
drives our decision making.
Yeah. Yeah, two places that we make decisions from is either from love or from fear. You know, that's like a well-known sort of statement to say. But if you're avoiding fear all the time, then you might even be doing might be people pleasing, or you might be helping someone, and people, he's a good lad, or he's a nice lad, or whatever. It's like, well, actually, you might be fucking so used to people pleasing to avoid perception of ramifications, or the feeling of it, or you might be avoiding the feeling of fear. It's like, this is why, like, I feel like you have to go deep. Like any level of performance, of team cohesion, of like how can you not go there to understand how best to be in the world when you want to do something, when you want to help people, you know?
It's still massively untapped though, isn't it? Like, going to those depths.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to, you know, like the level of the conscious state that you have, how you coach, the things that you think, you know, going from being a professional athlete full time, having that unfortunately cut short. What sort of habits and behaviours do you have in your lifestyle that keeps you mentally switched on like this? Because I don't believe that you can feel and think like this if you're living an unhealthy life. So what sort of habit stacking do you do in order to stay, you know, in tune with yourself? You know, what are some of the things that you do on the regular, you know, some structure that you do have in order to be how you are? You know, is it regular working out still?
Yeah,
is it?
I think, I can manage to do light exercise with the symptoms that I have with headache and dizziness. Like, I can manage to do light exercise, which I do regularly. Dancing, I do a lot of dancing.
Yeah.
And
nice.
that is amazing. It's good for, like, brain injury, like headache and stuff. On a level of, like, I think maybe coordination, but also I think, like, emotionally it's good, you know.
Expression,
yeah, and like freedom, 100%. Like, I dance. We go down to London, I dance through the streets of London and stuff. And I dance in these big offices. Honestly, mate, like
dancing in the rain.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, it's like the golden ticket. Like, oh wow, you can just do this. But all the thoughts that I've had about it, and sometimes that pop up now, stop me doing it. Like, wow, this is an experience that is profound and so beautiful, and you realise that it's all there if you just allow yourself to drop into it. You know, and I say allow yourself because a lot of people would fucking not do that. They shit themselves. You know, and I'm always like, well, what's actual resilience, or what's toughness, or what's bravery? I'm like, for me, that is like, I've seen to be the bravest thing, you know, to do something like that. So dancing has been great, I think, for that dynamic that we speak about.
Are you just talking about just randomly busting some moves out?
Yeah, I'll put music on. I'll do something called 5 Rhythms. If anyone wants to try that, that's cool.
Okay.
That's like, you can find it on Spotify, and there's like playlists, and it guides you through different like types of movement, types of dance.
Cool.
Some of it's like short, fast stuff, and then some of it's more flowy, some of it's more still, and it sort of represents the modes that we can get in life. You know, sometimes you're thinking fast and you're in like chaos. Sometimes you feel at peace and things are happening and you're in flow. And it's not like that you always want one state to be the state, but it's like the toggle between them and the acceptance and the being with the different states and the letting go of them.
Yeah.
So dancing, and then I think going to what I work with on athletes is, what I do for myself every day is like is always creating the context to come from in life, you know, instead of waking up in the habit of fear and the tendency to worry. And like, I have a huge tendency to worry in my life, which has really sort of started to dissolve a lot, and there's less and less like present for me. Like creating the context by going back to I am. So the only thing I'm sure of right now is that I am, you know, and that I know there that my thinking creates my reality. So I create a context to come from every morning and evening. And I've gone through a process of you know, there's a phrase in life, you know, change the movie, change the script, you know.
Yeah.
So we all have an internal script, whether we like it or not, whether we think it's weird to speak about it, whether we think it, like, we all have an internal script that narrates what's happening in life for us and who we are and all those beliefs that we had, you know, that we would speak about. And so I make sure that every morning and evening I create a context for myself, which is like, I've gone through a process of forgiving myself for judging myself that I am wrong, or that I am worthless, or, you know, these things that I've lived with. But whatever time they've come in and I've judged myself as that, I'm going through a process of realising what's more true and giving space for what comes up as that. So like, yeah, like in the morning and evening, I'm sitting down and I'm going through a document that sets that context.
Is this pen to paper, or is it a document on a screen?
Yeah, it's sort of, I think that there's a process of writing it down and going through the process of document, which is, you know, has been the process, or the document is something coined by a coach called Steve Hardison. Going through the process, writing all those subconscious beliefs, going through a process of sitting with them and forgiving them and giving space for what is more true, and then writing down all the new ones, and then typing it up, going through it, realising what's basically cutting away the ones that have been repeated and unifying the ones that remain, and further accentuating those and making them stronger, and then that's my document that I live by. You know.
Wow. That's power.
Yeah, so chopping off the dead wood that's not serving your thoughts.
Yeah, and it's like it's a workability type thing. It's like and I say that in the way of like, I know that who I'm being in the world, I will feel that something happens and I'll make it mean that I'm wrong. So for instance, like, I'm wrong was a big one that came up for me, which is shame. You know what I mean? Like, that's just shame. Like the lowest level of emotion that we can have, pretty much, is that I'm wrong. And at times now, because I'm so aware of it, I feel it coming up if I've made a mistake, or I feel it coming and I feel a feeling of it in my body. And now I just switch to the new document, which is I am exploding newness. I am infinite love. Like, and this is the game plan thing I'm speaking to. It's like, before I'd have gone shame, and then I've been ruminating about it. What do I need to do to make myself better and all the rest of it? And it's like, well, it's just a thought. It's just like as if, it's like we have a dream at night, and most of the time we don't wake up from a dream and worry about the dream and start thinking about what we need to do and Like, why is a thought different to a dream?
Yeah.
It
passes through, doesn't it?
It just passes through, and we're left with this trace of like what we need to do and all that. So like I just moved to the new document now.
Power.
Wow.
That is power.
It's a lot more fun way to live life. Do you know what I mean?
You're just reframing everything, aren't you? Every emotion.
Yeah.
Putting a reframe on
you just totally exactly being with it in a different way. You're like, it's just a more useful way to live, a more fun way to live, a more powerful way to live. And
I'm guessing you need a lot less distractions to live like this. Is that right? Because it's very internal. You've got to be really checking in with yourself a lot.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
I think that's what it is checking in with yourself all the time. Like the whole practice is like awareness and being aware of where you're contradicting yourself. Like, how am I thinking about this different to how I was yesterday or 10 days ago? And how's that dictating my actions now compared to what it was then? What's different? This room's still the same. Like, it's the same time as it was 10 days ago, like coming here but I feel different. So what's different? I'm thinking different, and that creates the experience of, a lot of people say, oh, it's been a roller coaster for the last 12 months. I'm like, has it? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I get it. I totally get it, because we're talking about our experience of life. We're not talking about the circumstance. But the more and more we go into the roller coaster of it, and the more we sort of believe in the thinking of it and the experience of it, and the fact that the reason why you're thinking like this is because of someone, what they did 12 months ago or what they said to you, is like, yeah, I mean, how long is it going to take to really understand that and work that out? Because it happened 12 months ago and it's not happening now. So is it just actually the thought that
it's replaying?
That's replaying. Yeah, you've put your head in a cinema and you think it's what's going on. You just take your head out of cinema and you go into another one. Do you know what I mean?
It sounds so simple, mate, but I can imagine the impact of that is huge.
I've just got discipline.
Yeah, definitely. Is that a daily practice for you then, Stevie?
Yeah. I've done a lot of meditation as well, So I've sat with my thoughts a lot. I've sat with my emotions a lot, and mate, over the last 2 or 3 years, I've grieved so much. Like, my life's like totally changed. Like, I was captain, leading a team out, and then I couldn't do that, and I couldn't do that for the first time in a long time, because I could always get back from injuries and stuff.
How old were you?
27 when I actually retired. 26 when I got the injury.
Is it still painful to take yourself there mentally now? To think about that time? Or are you at peace?
I'd say that changes. Yeah.
What, depending on?
I guess however I am with the thought. Like now it doesn't feel painful. But if there's a game on that I'm watching and there might be a bit of pain there, that's the reality of it.
I went through a period where I couldn't go near the game.
Yeah.
Because I just still had those urges.
I don't watch football anymore. I stopped playing, I'm done. It's weird, isn't it?
It's such a funny relationship that we have, and you know, like, there's a lot of stuff that's changed when we've played it, you know, or we've come out of it, or we've been injured out of it, or whatever, and I think a lot of the last few years for me has been that sort of like realising that experience of that roller coaster of experience for me, and where does all that go, what does all that mean, you know, like trying to find certainty with it. And then there's been a huge amount of faith with it, and I guess self-trust. And then, you know, I'd say spirituality, which might sound however it sounds to whoever's listening. But yeah, I'm not sure the truth of spirit, or I don't really know, but I know it's useful to live life in a way that me playing rugby and being my best was a spiritual experience. You know, I truly feel like that something carried me, and I was a passenger, you know, like that's how it feels to me. And I know that is an experience that goes beyond words, it goes beyond depression, it goes beyond anxiety, it goes beyond anything that we can think to talk about. And I honestly feel that spirituality is like, I did a 10-day Vipassana meditation retreat for 10 hours a day meditating. Silence.
Wow.
Silence.
That's what I was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
The distractions. I can tell to get to that level of thinking. You had to take yourself off there.
But this is why I didn't really want to say it. This is why I didn't really want to say it, because I know that people will hear that and they'll think, oh yeah, but he's done a retreat or something. Do you know what I mean? Which is just another belief.
That's just nice, mate.
Yeah. It's just another belief.
That's
like,
nice.
Yeah. For people to say, oh, well, he's different or something. I'm not different. Spirituality is like, it's only being with what is always there, and always is the experience of reality. Do you know what I mean? Like, spirituality is not going off and imagining things. Or for me, the type of spirituality that I'm engaged in is not imagining things. It's not doing mantras. It's not magical thinking. Like, that spirituality, especially Vipassana, which is what the Buddha rediscovered 2,500 years ago, is a technique of meditation of just being with reality as it is. The more and more you're being with reality as it is, and the more and more that you realise in distraction. Like, I always get distracted now, but I realise I'm distracted. You know, like, I just see it. I'm just more aware of it. Oh, I've been distracted again. Or I'm resisting pain again. Or I'm moving towards pleasure again, which is all human beings doing. We're doing, you know. But yeah, I don't want you to think, oh, he's really, because I didn't feel that different after.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I guess ultimately, who cares what we think anyway?
I know.
Do you know what I mean?
Because like, it's become, over the last few years, it's like sort of a trend that's happening where people are like finding their true selves and, you know, retreats. But like in anything, there's things that are just operating from a corporate commercial thing, but then there's actually the real deep and meaningful results and feelings, what you get from practices like that, and that's steeped in thousands and thousands of years of history of like I say, Buddhism, and so it's like
we laid on this carpet and did a breathwork session for 60 minutes and then cried after it.
Wow.
And
so we were just breathing air in,
and we had that,
and it unlocked a completely different emotion.
Yeah,
and then like thinking,
wild, that, isn't it?
Yeah,
and something that you would hold on to and fight back your tears, and it was just like, this needs to. I've just got to let this go now.
We both sat there and cried like babies.
That's what. Yeah. Well, that's like how amazing is that? Yeah. Like, but that people don't. People don't. What did you say? It's beautiful.
It was mint.
Yeah, it was mint. It is mint.
Yeah.
People don't want to go there because like, fucking hell, I'm going to have to let go of stuff here. Do you know what I mean? I'm going to have to let go of control.
Bit of snot flying out nose and that.
yeah. I was like, yeah, sorry mate, I don't care anymore. Yeah. I need to care if I get snot on someone, or I need to care if I cry, or it's like, fucking hell.
But in that moment,
it's tiring, isn't it? Yeah. It's like, no wonder you're stressed, because you're managing things all the time. You're like, oh, I can't cry, or can't. It's like, but it goes back to that thing, like, as soon as you fucking stop that, you're free to have some energy or power that women have when they're picking a car up to get the kid out of it from underneath it. Like, you have the energy of like something that you've been fucking depressing all your life. Depressing, and you can keep doing it.
I think a lot of it comes from school. School's savage, innit?
School is savage, man. Yeah, proper.
And you know, kids can be really mean, and you know, you can feel very isolated, and I think we hold on to a lot of things there. You know, not feeling intelligent by a teacher, getting picked on, and then maybe some stuff that happened. A lot of it stems from childhood, doesn't it? And if you can kind of go back and realise that it don't belong to you anymore, it's not yours. It was just something that happened, or something that somebody said, and it's not yours anymore. That's when you can sort of make a breakthrough and live a lot more freedom.
Yeah.
You know, and do things where you don't feel like you're going to judge yourself anymore.
Yeah.
And step into that arena.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, it's those judgments again, you know, like that document thing. It's like, what I've judged to be true. Fuck it, it's not true. Do you know what I mean? Like, if someone's judged that they don't exist, it's not true, is it? But you're living like it is true.
It's your own truth.
You've believed it's true, you know? And it's that's where it's like, all right, well, can I forgive myself for that? Like, probably, if you think about what you had to do to survive as a kid, you know, like, to be safe and to continue living, which in the playground is mental at times, you know? Yeah. It's sport environments, and like, can you forgive yourself for creating the suffering of what those judgments are bringing up? Well, yeah, I can actually, because I didn't have a fucking clue. That was my clue.
Yeah.
That was my certainty. All right, I need some certainty to continue here, so I know what normal is. You know, and then it's like, well, if you didn't believe that, what's available to you? And usually people say freedom. Phone ringing.
There we go.
Usually people say freedom, lightness, like opportunity. Yeah. And the best thing is, like, when you have conversations in a group of men, you know, in any group, in a team, like, this is where psychological safety comes in. Like, and safety is like, psychological safety is just merely the shared belief that you can take interpersonal risks. I can take personal risks with you. Like, I can say this and know that I'm not going to have done something wrong or get kicked out, or know that you'll take it in my best interest. And it's like, well, once you've gone through that, you realise that we can fucking go and do this now, because I'm not fanning around worrying about this or how that comes across, or I can go and play. You want me to play my best? Are you okay with me, like, naturally being my best? Are you okay with me, like, naturally giving everything? Yeah, they are. Fuck. like, oh, how good is that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And even in business, like you boys, like doing that, like the amount of stuff that becomes available to you because you've done a breathwork with each other, you've been vulnerable, you've had tears, like you can have these conversations on a podcast and know that that's all right, and you'll attract people that you want to attract, you'll repel people that you're not that bothered about. Like
that's been a process, hasn't it, Dan?
Fair bit, yeah, we're still on it, aren't we?
Still on it.
Still on the process.
It's been
we're all there.
so
we're
far.
all on, we're all there. Yeah.
We're just grateful. Like it feels just like it is a passion project for us, but we know it's going to it's turning into a, legitimate, soon to be profitable business. But yeah, along the way, mate, we say to each other, 'cause on Wednesdays it's our Immerse day, we call it.
Yeah.
So most Tuesday nights, we might talk to each other. It's like Christmas Eve, mate.
Yeah, class.
I've got that Christmas Eve for you.
Love that. I love that, yeah.
That's what it's
Christmas
like,
Eve feeling.
We're sitting here and have
that.
conversations like this.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fucking hell. This feels so right now.
Yeah.
We're just taking it like step by step, and where we are now, we're just so happy, and it's, we've gone through some turmoil. That's all right. Stronger for it.
Do along the way though, don't you? It's just what you get when you step out into the path.
100%. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask, we're close to wrapping it up. We've actually
gone well over, but we don't mind.
Might be a record that.
Oh really? It's probably why people are ringing me and all this.
It's definitely a record. I really appreciate your time. And this has been some episode. I could literally sit in here all day and just let's just roll with it.
Yeah.
But we do have to wrap the podcast up. What I would like to know is, the work that you do now.
Yeah.
And where can we find you? Who are you looking for in terms of how you can help people? So if you want to share that. Yeah,
I mean, I work with leaders and teams, to get the teams basically closing the gap between talent and resource and actual performance, because there's all those invisible barriers that are in the way. So I just go in and I just help them dissolve them,
Is that more on a one-to-one level? Or
it's a bit of both. Right. Yeah, it's a bit of both. There's a team sort of system that we go through that I take players, the team through, and the coaches, and then there's the one-to-ones alongside it.
And is that mainly in rugby league, or is that
it's in sport? I'm doing a big thing with the ECB. I'm going to be doing a big thing with the ECB with all their county cricket teams coming up the back end of this year. Exco teams in business obviously translates to that.
Yeah, I'm going to say absolutely.
It's for human beings, of course, anyone that want to reach the full potential, really.
Yeah.
And people listening to it, they'll either be ready for it or they'll look for something else, or so it's like to those people that like have connected with what we're speaking about, whether it's an individual athlete, a leader of a team, a coach, head coach of a team, or a business owner, that like, fuck, there's that thing here, like, why are we not firing here,
Yeah.
Why are we not firing? Like, what's in the way of us being full potential? And it's just, it's bringing that out.
That must be an exciting prospect, mate. When you see a new client get in touch and you can kind of see where you can put your work in straight away.
Buzzing, man.
That must be all. I must say, mate, you just seem like you're exactly where you need to be, mate. From what you've gone through, and just well done, mate.
I am.
Just want to say, I'm rooting for you.
Yeah, thank you. We all are. Do you know why? Do you know why I know that though?
Yeah,
because we're here.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's no other version, is there?
No.
None that I know of.
No.
So it's meant to be. So I appreciate you, boys.
Thank you.
It's been a real gift and pleasure to speak so openly, and yeah, I'm supporting you boys as well. Proper supporting you and want you to do well.
Thank you, bro.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Cheers, boys.
Top man.
Cheers.